anything to drink. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Attrition AAR live stream being put on by Gun Gamers. Hello. I'm Eric.
I'm Kyle.
Jim.
And we are here to talk about Gun Gamers Productions Attrition. Let's start off light. We've got people still filtering into the chat, I'm sure. Let's all share one of our favorite highlights from the game, just as like a little fluff while we get started.
I would say an overall highlight for me is how many people didn't bail out because of the weather. That alone, right there. How many people said, no, we're going. We didn't get a bunch of emails of people being like, are you going to cancel because it's cold? No, they showed up.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Like, in general, the players were a highlight from last weekend. That was incredible. You guys were great, but we'll talk more about that later. I would say a weird highlight for me was not a weird one, like one of my favorite highlights. This just made my heart smile, and that was how pleased Dave from Zulu was with our game.
Yes.
Oh my God. He was telling us that like he has some people go host at the field and he can't really trust him to be safe and he feels like there's gonna be problems. And he came to us at like 9 o'clock. He's like, yeah, I'm about to go home. You guys have this. Like, this is one of the best run games we've seen in the field. I'm like, oh yes, okay.
Nice.
All great things. You guys didn't actually play though, so
No,
I guess I'll do that one.
Yeah. So Jim, by context, for those of you watching, what did you do at the game?
I played.
But what role?
I was the commander for the Republic of Almeri forces.
Hell yeah.
So I think my favorite part is we were getting ready for one of the first night assaults. We did this huge flank up a hill. And right as we're starting, I'm like, okay, they're going to initiate in like 1 minute. You guys go this way, you guys this way. And the second that the grenade flashes started going off, everybody just got psyched. Like, yes! So that was my favorite part.
I got one that's gameplay related. The first good ammo drop I gave for Jim, actually. We hear over the radio, he calls for ammo. And I look at Eric and Kyle and go, no. I got this one. So I radioed it in, and I wanted to give immersion. So I said, your ammo has been airdropped. However, there's a stiff wind pushing east, and your ammo has landed at the far east border of your AO beyond a pond. And I think you sent out at least one, maybe two squads to look for it, and it was not found. So I find Jim, and he just literally hands his gun off, goes, fuck it, I'll get it myself, and just left. Went and got the ammo. And then I gave him less shitty ammo drops. I felt bad about that one.
So, Lutz, what did you do at the game? I know your little tag there says something, but
yeah, red coat admin guy. So I ran admin along with Kyle and Eric, but as kind of their helper. So kind of pack muled around ammo and just like heating supplies, which surprisingly not a lot of people needed. Everyone brought like hand warmers and stuff, but I had a ton on me. And then my other job was to be a medic, which was awesome because I didn't have to be used, which is insane for as cold as it was.
Peter is complaining in the chat that they never found it. Well, get good, nerds.
Yeah, get good. I don't know what your problem is.
It was right
Jim got
on the path. It was on a walking path.
Kyle saw me put it out. It was so clear.
I think that ties in nicely to one of the other highlights I've got. We'll share one more each, and then we'll do our first giveaway and get right into the feedback discussion. But another highlight I had was when I was seating some props in the motor pool area that we were calling for the game, which is like the CQB city, if you know the area at Zulu. And one of the ammo drops that Lutz put out was also not found by Almeric forces.
I didn't say they got easier, all right? Matt said they got easier.
So this is how easy this one was. I'm just walking through just to like seed a few things in the buildings. And this is after clearly, the Almeric forces must have really searched this area. And I just stumble across 2 bottles of BBs and like a bunch of packages of 4s just sitting in a corner of a building in plain view, visible from like 3 separate doors.
Not an ammo can.
Okay, well, I'm not going to put what I was going to put here, But someone's gonna find that and have a good time.
I made that. I literally walked in that building and go, where would like airsofters walk by if they're clearing the room? And I was like, this is the one corner. And I was like, but I gave Jim just directions. I was like, the big building in the middle of HLZ. What is it, 2, I think? No one ever came for it. They just didn't do it. Sad. It's very sad.
It's not true. They got very confused, actually.
That does tie into something.
I'm gonna blame Pete.
Yeah, that is something that does tie into something we're going to do at future games that we'll discuss in a minute. But how about we get another highlight from each of you guys?
I'd say a highlight for me is, even though I wasn't playing, I got to run the detonation of pretty much the only artillery strikes that we did for that event.
Oh my god!
And
the artillery strike was cool.
And it was a super fluid thing because the strikes went off, and then Gojirian forces literally just rolled in like they were just waiting for it, and immediately took 2 complete areas because of that when it was called in for them. It was awesome smooth.
The other thing that I really liked about that was that the Almeric forces who got artillery didn't know this was coming because we like planted the whole thing under their noses. Mm-hmm. They all called it without needing to be told they were dead.
Called it, yep.
Like nobody needed to be told they were dead. They saw the black smoke, they looked, and they're like, "Oh, well, I'm within 50 feet." Ah,
yeah.
That's awesome.
It wasn't a highlight for you. What happened in 3 places? We had to pull back to the top of the hill. I thought we were done.
Not a highlight.
We did rally back though. So after about 15 minutes, we actually got consolidated, and then we're pushing out again. But.
Well, shouldn't have let the Gojirian forces hold the power plant.
That's true. There was consequences to how the game went. Who knew?
Let's get another. No, you haven't given one yet.
Well,
yeah, did you have any fun?
Mine was an anti-highlight. I don't know if you guys have been to Zulu, but the 2 spots that it happened were the 2 power spots that I wanted to control. Was that yellow castle back there? That was one of our staging areas. And then the village right in front of it. So they artillery both those spots and then ran in right after that. And that really just threw us for a loop. We were not ready for it.
All right. Well, let's. Oh my God, you're
Sorry,
lighting
I got an improve. I got an improve. It said improve my lighting. So now it's too bright. I can't. Okay. Okay. So actually, I think Kyle got this picture put up. Wherever you posted the pictures, I think in the actual attrition event, there's a picture I caught of Jim. This is another Jim thing. These were just great. Caught Jim sprinting up a hill. Again, no weapon to be found, just with a full bottle of BBs running at Pat Casey. He's like, they needed ammo because they overextended, which, Pat, you did. Jim's like, I got this. And
Pat is the man,
perfect.
Okay? He
was up a hill.
He was getting the pursuit spirit.
Let me give you the second part of that, actually, because that was, I had just gone over the ridge, and Weldon was up there, and he is just looking, he's just got RBF, looks pissed. And I'm like, what's going on? He's like, I know for a fact, this is Jim, or this is Pat, this is a perfect counter assault. The second we pushed, they came at us. It's one of those assholes. So I'm like, keeping it in. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, it could be anyone. I know exactly who it was. So that I go over the hill and take pictures, and there's photo evidence of them doing the counter assault as we speak. It's very good. And that was Jim bringing the ammo for that counter assault. So
nice.
It's just fun to watch people that have played with each other enough that they're like, I can tell. I know who did this.
All right. Well, we're just almost 10 minutes in, and we are going to transition into discussing the feedback, things we did different from Overture, things we're going to do different in the future based on what we learned at Attrition, some of our challenges and successes. But before we do that, I do want to do a giveaway. So I took everyone who bought a ticket for Attrition. You can't really see it well.
That's a terrible shot.
Yeah, it is an awful shot. But I put all the names. Hopefully you can see this is a random name generator thing. So I put all the names of all the ticket holders from Attrition. Actually, I'm going to add a couple of more because we had a couple of Overture transfers. I'm going to make sure are in here. And there is one person who transferred their ticket off of this game. So if that person wins, I'm gonna just scrub it because they're going to be on the next raffle. So just entering those names. So actually, we're at 112 names now. There we go. Done. Go ahead and generate. And now we're going to spin for the first raffle prize, which is from Engage Tactical. So if you don't know Engage Tactical, they do custom nylon goods. And for Attrition, Matt figured, Matt figured one of like the 5 Matts in Gun Gamers.
And 2 in Engage. Yeah.
Yeah. So he figured that having a cool hand warmer in a cool pattern, we actually have 2 of these to give away, but the first one is in Multicam Alpine. Fleece lined, it's real nice. It's got the waist belt, and it also has a Velcro flap that can integrate onto plate carriers or some chest rigs. Neat. So we're going to go ahead and spin this guy. Once I find that spin button,
it'll integrate flawlessly
yeah,
into Engage Tactical G-Guard. Interesting.
So we are spinning, and who won that one? The winner of the Engage Tactical Hand Warmer in Multicam Alpine is Ethan Bockish. So Ethan, we have your email address because we're creepers like that, and you bought a ticket. So I'm going to email you, let you know how to claim your prize, and we will ship it out to you. So thank you again to Ethan Bockish for buying a ticket to Attrition, and hopefully the next time we do a winter game, this will come in handy for you. So speaking of the next time we're doing a winter game, let's talk about player feedback, what we did from an Overture differently, and what we're going to do next time.
Yeah, we changed a couple of things differently. I would say starting right at the beginning of the day, how we did the check-in and chrono system, we did different. We split the 2 teams in half and had them park, check-in, chrono at their respective sides, and it went much faster and better because of it. And it allowed for the first contact was a direct lead-on force, which I really enjoyed.
I thought that went great. That was fantastic. You don't see that in any other airsoft game. Usually everybody's brought in together. You are right next to the person you need to kill in 5 minutes. You know,
yeah. the only other game I think that does separated check-ins like that is Milsim West, which is, I would argue borderline not an airsoft game the way they run it. But that is part of the design cues from Milsim that I really like, not only from the side of immersion, but also from the side of it allows us to have that many more stations. Like we have 5 chronos at each check-in station and 2 people running check-in. So as opposed to Overture, where we had all 180 players coming through one check-in line and then going through one chrono line, we had 5 chrono stations at each side plus 2 check-in stations. And with 60 players on each side, that went by like nothing.
Oh yeah, we doubled our processing power, and it went more than.
Also, I want to interject with the chrono there. For anyone that came late, like one of our last few, when there started to actually be a line, I just want to be clear that I've never played in that level of cold, and we tried to prepare anything we could think of. What we didn't think of is any condensation coming out of your gun was immediately freezing on the contacts of the chronos and making them not function anymore. The battery survived. Everything. We had 10 chronos to start and ended with 2. So
yeah,
for next time, we now know we will do a heated chrono station. But it was because I heard people, they're like, "Oh, the batteries are dying. It's cold." Obviously, I go, "That's not the issue."
The LCD screens were also freezing.
Yeah.
Well, guys go up and they take 3 quick shots, and usually it pops up. I go, "Listen, it takes the screen about 3 seconds to process your shot. You shoot, wait for it, it fades in, and then you're like, okay, another shot, fades. It was slow.
Yeah,
it was a different kind of experience there. I tell you, there were some things you would not think would be a problem.
Yeah,
it was new for us.
Yeah, I mean, so improve for that. We're gonna do heated chrono stations. Another thing that I thought was better from Overture overall, but we're also going to be refining on that further, is I do think that the drops of different objectives, we tried to stick more to notable landmarks so that we didn't have to try to give grid squares. While the Almeric Republic clearly struggled recovering a couple of objective drops, in general, I think we did a much better job sticking to landmarks that players could find. But in the future, we're also going to have these hunting dog trackers that have a little seeker that you can use, and that will actually give you proximity estimates as you get closer, and that's going to be especially useful at a huge AO like Ben Franklin range.
Yep.
That thing reminds me of, what was it, Aliens?
Oh, yeah.
It beeps faster and louder as you get closer. It's pretty good.
That's going to be a lot of fun, yeah.
And I always cite my sources. So straight up, it was Chris from 6mm Mandalorian and Galactic Civil War. He turned me on to those. So
yeah, we saw the video of that. We're like, that's cool. We need to try something like that.
Yeah, so by the way, if you're a Star Wars nerd or you like Star Wars LARP, check out Galactic Civil War. They have a game coming up at Action Sports Wisconsin that I'm going to be at. I think, are you coming to that?
Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe. I think Lutz is planning to go.
We're working on it.
All right. Well, I'm going. I'll be a quarry master for the Bounty Hunters Guild. So, pew pew.
Hey, Eric, while we're going, I'm keeping track. We only have one so far, but I've got questions from people. Let me know when you want to throw those in. I'll throw them at you.
Let's do one more piece of the Overture improvement. Sure. Then we'll do a question. The other improvement from Overture that I kind of wanted to mention is I thought that overall having the extra point of contact for players with the PSG role was a great move.
Yes. And then there's two other things I would say that we also changed. One, we changed to colored smoke for the artillery system.
Yeah, the black smoke was very distinct.
Made it distinct, and there was no longer any is that artillery or what is that? It was very clear as to what it is. And then the other thing that we did on top of adding the PSGs for the additional point of contact, we started filtering ammo directly through the command chain to filter out. And I feel like that actually was helpful.
Yeah, and I also think we could expand that further as well, because we did have. This is where we're going to get into some of the challenges that unless you wanted to talk about anything else. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, I mean, I could caveat off of that because I was commander for the last game and this game.
Yeah,
seeing how just the ammo flow went it was a lot smoother, especially going through the command chain. At least from our perspective, like the player perspective, all I want them to know is we have some direction and everybody's ready to fight. And along with that is the ammo stream. So the faster I can call up for ammo, the faster I can get it out to them. And I know that it got out to them, unless it got dropped in a weird spot.
Yeah.
But that went a lot more smoothly, and it gave me a warm, fuzzy feeling that we were ready to fight all the time.
Yeah. I do think one of the things that we noticed in the feedback survey is we had a very even split between people who thought there was just the right amount of ammo and people who thought there was too little ammo.
Yeah.
Now, I noticed that we were right on that line for a lot of the people with the survey that we emailed out.
Yeah.
And I think there's a couple of reasons for that. One of the reasons is something we're going to change and improve.
Yes.
Is I do think we had a few people who didn't have as constant a contact with their PLs as they needed to, and those people were not getting the same ammo resupply. So we're actually going to put into the rule set some of our procedures of how resupply works and how to do an ACE report so that you can let your command know how you're doing, what supplies you need. And also we're going to have increased flow of 0.4 gram BBs, because that was something that on the admin side, requests for ammo would get handed up, and we only had 6 people maybe playing the DMR role at the start of the day.
Yeah,
no, there's at least 4 on mine. So
that means 5 total. Yeah.
Yeah. So we had 5 or 6 DMR players, and those guys didn't get their 4s like they were supposed to. In a lot of cases, because requests for ammo were getting passed up, but because 95% of the field or more was using the 2.8s, we weren't handing out 4s with that because we weren't hearing requests for 4s, so we weren't putting out 4s. But we're going to be putting 4s as a standard distribution item now.
Correct. To
make sure that we have more of that. We're going to be upping the starting allotment of 4s as well.
Correct.
And we are also going to be adding a admin supply of ammo to the PSG role. So now you're going to have additional points of contact, not just for game flow and command, but also for ammunition. Yep. Another thing that I want to talk about with the too little ammo versus just right amount of ammo comments is I do think we also need to make more clear to players, like, hey, we do the issued ammo not just because we include your ammo in your ticket price, but also because it's part of our design to make the games challenging enough with ammo supply that you have to really consider your shots and consider what you're doing, and have consequences for if you get into a really heavy firefight and don't break contact. So it's try to fine tune that balance as well at all times.
Correct. Part of half the reason we provide the ammo is a tool to make the game flow better. And that may seem weird when you're on the ground level, just being one dude being like, oh shit, I'm out of ammo. But as it goes up the chain, it makes more sense. And we never want to see anyone run totally out. That's not our goal.
We're not aiming for players to run out and not be able to get more for an hour.
No, because then what do? You're sitting on the field and you can't use what you showed up to do. So that's not our goal, but it's to force players to make decisions and not just have it be a dumping fest back and forth.
Yeah, and I think with the level of audience that we hit, like somewhere between this might be a lot of people's first foray into anything like Milsim.
Yes,
and for a lot of players, I think that can be a bit of a culture shock.
It is,
but
absolutely.
I also think that ties further into some of our earlier issues with logistics as well. So I think between fixing our logistics end and then also hopefully helping players keep in mind why we issue the ammo, I think between that we'll hopefully start seeing a lot less of the too little ammo comments. And if we don't, then we know we have more to fix.
Yeah. we need to throw more BBs. We went through quite a bit. I think we went through about 400,000 BBs or something like that.
More than that. We probably went through a solid. We honestly almost went through the same amount of ammo we went through at Overture.
Yeah, so players actually, believe it or not, at Attrition are significantly more than at Overture.
Yeah, there was a lot of shooting overall at Attrition. We went through probably 450, 500,000 BBs, which is only 100 and something thousand short of what we used in Overture. And Overture had 180 players.
Why do you guys think that is?
I think our logistics were better overall.
I think it's because the field was so the engagements were more frequent.
Yeah, I think that does play into another piece of feedback that I saw on the different surveys that we sent out. And that other piece of feedback was feedback on the facility. A lot of people thought the facility got repetitive and was too small. And then some other people were very happy with the facility and really liked it.
Yep.
I wouldn't say a lot. I mean, we only got so many responses to the survey and a percentage of those people. Comments that Zulu 24 was too small. If we run there again, I don't think we'll do that same format. But Zulu is looking to expand. And if they do expand, that'll absolutely put that same format back on the table again. But I would be interested in running Zulu 24 again with a modified and tweaked format that I think would take even better advantage of it. Overall, I was very happy with the first run. Yeah. And I think Zulu was a great host, to be
Zulu
honest.
Was spectacular.
Yeah, if for no other reason than what a great host they are to do. Even if doing the same style of our continuous movement-based game doesn't work again, I still would be interested in hosting.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was too small. No, from a commander's perspective, we were able to go around the facility and we never saw the same perspective place. We may have gone around, but then we went around the other way. So it's like going backwards in a video game.
Yeah.
So we were constantly in new environments and challenging environments, and it wasn't flooded with players, which is what I think to say.
Yeah, well, because and other times when Zulu gets super packed in other fields, you end up just grinding at the same hours and hours and hours and hours.
Hold on. Is my mic good?
Yeah, I was trying to not super interrupt you. I was waiting for a natural thing. You're kind of popping in and out.
All right,
not fully out, but your volume's getting weird. Okay, while he's gone, I'll talk. Let's see. Questions.
Is it better now?
Just give me a full sentence. Go.
Hello, this is Eric from Gun Gamers, making sure my microphone works.
Much better. Much better.
Cool. All right, we did it.
All right. Do you want questions, big guy?
Yeah, let's take some.
Let's take some questions.
All right. First one was way early in our chat, but still applies. What are you guys looking for in an AO for winter games?
That would be a really good question. I would say what I'm looking for in an AO for winter games primarily is safety, because we had a game where it was -4 degrees. Now I'm really glad that we picked somewhere where people could easily get back to their cars, go into a heated shop, do things that they needed to do, get around a fire, and that I think was very crucial for running on the day we ran.
I also think balancing the size of an AO is important in the winter because although this time it was bitterly cold and it didn't snow, when it snows, it dramatically slows down movement speed, and you have to be considerate of that for the flow of the gameplay. And also, like Eric said, being able to get back to cars for people who really need to warm up or other things like that, that's very important to consider.
Yeah, from a player perspective, that's probably number one right there because you don't want to be caught out in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, oh man, it feels like I'm getting frostbite, but have no relief around. So that was a big deal.
Yeah, and another thing I would think we look for in a winter facility is I do still want a good format to work there. Right now we're doing our 12-hour format. That's the theme for this year, that we're doing that 12-hour military style force on force. It's a little bit more closer leaning into that milsim style. I like doing that. If we were to do that again at Zulu, I would wait until they expand, hopefully.
Yes.
But depending on the type of game we're running, because we have other formats and stuff we want to experiment with, that's going to also dictate what kind of field we're looking for. Is what kind of game we're looking to do at the facility.
All right. The next question was concerning ammo. Are tracer BBs required for the night portion or optional?
Tracer BBs are optional. You can ask for them to be issued through your chain of command when night falls, and we may have opportunities for you to earn them through fragos and stuff like that. But they're really cool. So
real fun. All right. And then I've got, was it possible there was more shooting just because players were more in close proximity during this event due to AO size?
Absolutely.
Now I'm going to put my spin on it that for sure is an issue, was part of it. I also feel like people were looking to do more because sitting was too cold. So they're like at Overture it was let me take a quick break because I'm getting hot. Here it was give me something to do so I don't become a human popsicle, right?
That's true, yeah, because when you slow down, man, you'll start freezing real quick.
Yeah.
Also, how much of the curtain do we want to bring down about this? Are we allowed to talk about the behind-the-scenes stuff that me and Garrett were doing?
Let's leave some mystery to the imagination.
Mystery.
but suffice to say that people compare playing our games to playing Arma 3 with Zeus for a reason. Do we have any other good questions?
That's all the questions I got up so far.
Solid. One more thing I want to talk about that we're going to do at future games that we didn't do for this game.
Yes.
Do you want to do it? Just whatever one you're thinking of.
The Fly Boys?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to be introducing, if you were at Attrition, you saw us demo a new kind of really mechanic that no one's really done before. And
well, it's done, just not I don't think in the same way we did it.
Correct. Yeah, that would be a more fair statement. We were demoing the application of drones. And now what we actually are going to be doing is introducing a class for drone operators. So now if you have a drone and you want to run it, there's going to be a class that you can apply for to do it. There's going to be different kinds of restrictions that come with it. But we are going to be introducing it as a player class that they can use.
Yes. We actually have, in response to a lot of the elaboration questions and in response to a lot of the stuff that we're looking to do this year, we have a full rule set patch for the Gun Gamers Productions rule set coming out before the end of the month. So before March 1st, you will see a brand new, fully updated Gun Gamers Productions rule set. I'm going to call it version 1.1 because it will be mostly the same, but it will be expanded.
Yeah, we're just going to clarify some things. There's going to be no monumental changes. Honestly, adding the drone class is the biggest change that's happening.
Well, and the vehicle rules.
And the vehicle rules, yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
I also want to consolidate some of our paperwork into different areas. So we're going to be looking to actively improve the communication of our rule set. And in that rule set will also be the prop interactions, because I know that some players had a lot of issues figuring out exactly the way the props worked. We tried to brief them in the op boards. We tried to brief them in the briefings the day of to the best of our ability. But it clearly had some stuff slip through the cracks for some players. So we're going to really put our best foot forward on that and be like, all right, cool. Now all the prop interactions are in the base rule set. So if you read the base rule set, you should know how everything works. Oh yeah, Cherico was literally asking that question, and then yeah. So that's like the main really big things we're looking to improve on and add to the game.
Yes.
And I think that for Incursion and Ascension, those will be some really cool things. So I'm very excited about those.
Oh yeah, no, Incursion is going to be the first test of the drone. There is not going to be any vehicles at Incursion.
No,
to be clear.
No.
But Ascension, that's different. You'll see that when all the rules drop. It'll be like how for Attrition, we had a specific modified rule set that said, hey, you need an emergency blanket so you don't freeze to death. Here, it's going to be similar things like, hey, we're going to be implementing the vehicle rule set for this game.
All right. Do you and Lutz want to take a second and talk about anything that you think you're going to do differently at Lessons Learned from Attrition?
My own personal lessons?
Yeah. Chip doesn't need to learn. He's perfect.
We don't have the time for that. All right. I speak only from like a commander and my performance on the field portion of it. But
all right. Well, then we're going to do the second giveaway real quick before we get into another section that we have. So our next section, we are going to do. We're going to discuss how players prepared and how they did, what worked and what didn't. But before we do that, we're going to give away another Engage Tactical hand warmer. So let me close Ian Boxich out of here. I'm going to remove you because you already won something. No offense, but you wouldn't want to. Well, maybe you would want to hand warmer.
Maybe.
He's not going to get to it. So why would you mention it?
Your mic's getting weird again. Just so you know.
How weird? Is it better
like,
this? No.
Now a little bit. Yeah, it's just.
What about this?
I think you're okay. It's when you're like doing like a long sentence, it pops, kind of like goes in waves, popping in and out.
Okay, let me know if it gets weird again. Sorry, guys, technical difficulties. We're super professional. So this is going to be the giveaway for the Engage Tactical hand warmer in. This is a mossy oak variant, I think.
No, it said it right on it. It's.
Does it? I'm stupid then.
Here it is. Here's part of it.
Bog.
Yeah, I think it's like bog or something.
Bog.
Yeah.
Mossy
Oak Bottomlands.
Yep.
Mossy Oak Bottomlands. There we go. This is actually a pretty cool camo pattern, and I know that some people really get in with the hunting camo aesthetic. I think there's a lot of GMR mini maps out there that are super collectible, these kinds of patterns. But we are going to spin the same wheel as we did before, and we're going to see who wins. I'm going to hold one of these. No, hold on. I got it. All right. Who won? Georgino Perez Jr. You have won the Mossy Oak Bottomlands Engage Tactical hand warmer that I almost forgot the name of. I think he called them the Hot Pockets.
Yeah, it's a Hot Pocket.
I will be screen capping you so I don't forget that you won that. And then I will be sending you an email after the stream so that you can collect your prize. And the best part about this, too, is even if you don't respond to the email, we have your shipping address like creepers because you gave us money. So you really can't run away from your raffle prize.
It's coming.
Oh, no.
Cherico says that was one of his squad mates. Nice.
Cherico's picking favorites. He said one of his.
Hey, Cherico, was he a cool guy? Because if you say no, we'll redraw. In all seriousness, though, one of the things that really impressed me about Attrition was how well players prepared.
Oh my gosh, yeah. We bought like over 200 pairs of hand warmers in expectation to give every player multiple pairs because we're like, everyone's going to die because they're going to show up in t-shirts. And you guys showed up ready to go. It was amazing.
Cherico, by the way, says that guy who just won was one of the first 3 to respond to the group chat and planning group. So never mind, he was on it. He gets the
That's a
raffle.
go-getter. That's a go-getter.
That's the kind of winner we need. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, everyone was crazy prepared. I mean, like I said, we learned some things about how cold it was. I had some instant heat packs that were supposed to be for an emergency. We tested one when we got there, and apparently when it gets too cold, the chemical reaction does not take. So, yeah, like, you guys were honestly a little better prepared than I was. We had the hand warmers, though, so those were good to go. But yeah,
Good deal.
good deal.
Yeah, the other thing that really impressed me with player preparation was I do feel like for the most part we had really good communication with players before the game.
Yeah.
There were a few people who like struggled here and there, but guys, I have a favor to ask, please. If you sign up for a Gun Gamers Productions game and you want to be in the loop on what's happening, please don't use a fake email address.
Oh, that threw a loop too many times.
Yeah, please don't use one of those weird anonymous address generators that you never check. Please use a real email address that we can reach you at, because email is our first and favorite form of communication.
Yeah.
So please, for the love of God, use an email address we can reach you at, and check your spam filters. Unfortunately, stuff gets caught in there. So that's one of the big things that we would love to see players do is be able to be reached, please, because we did have a couple of cases, I think, where that was an issue. So, anyone?
Yeah, I second it. Yeah. It's not like Eric's a corporation. He's not going to do anything weird with it.
Oh, I got a question here.
Oh, hold on.
We got a
Just
question.
hold on. I just saw a chat pull up.
Yeah. How did people deal with water bottles freezing?
People dealt with water bottles freezing pretty well, honestly, because I think a lot of people had wider mouth water jugs like Nalgene's and stuff like that, and that definitely helped. And then a lot of people had their water bottles actually like in their stuff so that it was insulated. And Ian, was that another question that I saw pull up for a second? Oh, hello, somebody. God.
That was a good one.
Good questions.
Yeah, good question.
I'll say, one point of failure that the players did have, though, anyone running hydro lines had frozen shit.
Yes.
Which is kind of hard to predict. That you're like, it's so cold, like, oh, I try and take a drink, and then the line freezes.
So one of the tactics I saw for water bottles was doing it inverted.
Yep.
So the nozzle was actually down there. That way, when it freezes, it'll do it up here where the butt is instead of down.
Well, there also is more room to slosh around at the top, which helps prevent freezing.
Yep.
I did watch Fromm have to ice pick out his canteen, and he's like, "It's okay. It's just a little ice at the top. Once I'm through that, it's all water." I'm like, "Okay, man."
Yeah. So the upside down thing works pretty great.
Yeah.
But keeping it close to your body is probably even better.
Yeah. The other thing I thought worked really well for the water in general is I think the 5-gallon jugs definitely stayed mostly not frozen. They
froze a little bit, but overall, people were able to consistently get water out of them. And we actually had a whole set that we kept in a vehicle that we kept heated on and off. So that way, whenever we needed to rotate, players actually had non-frozen water. We weren't going to just grab an ice cube functionally and hand it to the players.
Yeah. Another thing that I want to talk about how players prepped, because we actually just did a video on this.
Yes.
How about airsoft guns, huh? How about how YouTube doesn't like certain words, so we can't say certain words or show all of something, but
dang,
yeah, that happens.
Eric, how long did that one last?
What's that?
How long did that one last, man?
I didn't make it to Game On. This was
this
was our rental, by the way. So we had some poor dude who signed up to rent from us, and the thing that we rented him didn't make it to Game Start.
Yeah, he brought it back, and he's like, "Hey, this this broke, and we're like, oh shit. Luckily, we had a backup on file ready to go, and he ended up rocking something a bit fancier.
He came up to me and he goes, "This popped apart. I'm not sure how to put it back together." And I look at it, I go, "You don't." I was like, "That's broken."
Are we allowed to say the brand of what that was? I'm sure everybody's wondering.
So that was a Classic Army Sportline Mod M4, and the entire rear of the receiver just
and gearbox
snapped off,
and the gearbox.
And the gearbox, yes.
Yeah, it wasn't just the receiver. The whole end of the gearbox exploded out the back.
No, literally, the first time I saw it when you brought it back, Matt, I was like, wait a minute, why can I see the buffer tube spring? Wait, there isn't a buffer tube spring.
That's one example of a lot of different failures we saw. I know both my guns went down at some point for different gas issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, what were you using?
I didn't. You know, Matt mentioned that there's pictures of me running around without a gun. That was most of the game. I brought my SR-25 to use, and I know both that gun and my backup gun had problems when I was screwing in the gas canisters.
Yeah,
Jim,
well, a lot of people. Go ahead, Matt.
I was saying Jim subscribed to the same concept that Pat did, which was I overheard Pat say to Jim, he's like, "No, it's okay. My knife hand can get people to do a lot more than my gun can, so we'll be fine."
It's different from a leadership perspective. Like usually our weapons are our platoons and all that, so it wasn't a huge deal that mine went down. But I'm glad we at least had the rentals available for when other people's stuff went down.
Yeah, we're actually also going to bring more rentals on site next time.
Correct. We'll bring more rentals on site, and players actually brought a lot of backup guns, which is important because more than one person, we'd see them coming back as background people in the white cell, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, like how you doing?" They're like, "Oh yeah, we're doing great. I'm grabbing my third gun," and I'm like, "Okay."
I think Wes from Amped Airsoft broke 2 guns. I think Anthony from Ant Tech broke 2 guns.
Yeah. Which is more than one.
Maple Armory survived the entire game. She did.
Connor was using that, right?
Yeah. All he said was the lipo was a little slow from the cold, but otherwise fine. Also, Cherico has issued a challenge, Eric. He says if you don't mention which of his 4 guns survived, you're a coward. So, I don't know.
All right. Cherico's gun that survived was a Valken battle machine, bone stock, after his Avalon SOP mod had the battery die.
That's rough.
Yeah, but that's not the SOP mod's fault.
Yeah, it's the battery's fault.
Oh my god. Hold on. Zune in the chat. I had to use a hammer on my gun multiple times in order to keep it from seizing.
That's a good demonstration of how cold it was.
Well, like Chrono, I was laughing at this one poor guy. I felt bad. He had an HPA set up, and his nozzle kept sticking back. And I was just thinking of the Arctic Saratov at Milson West.
Yeah.
Where I had to completely disassemble my N7. I was just telling him, I go, "Listen, buddy, I go, you're going to want to use that AEG lower. I'm telling you right now, your shit's frozen, and it's not going to get better." And he's like, no, it'll work. I go, "No, it's not." That's done.
Yeah, silicone oil on your O-rings before an event like this, please.
Yeah.
Preventative maintenance goes a long way.
His grease froze, and that was the end of that.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of overall survivability, though, I do think stock AEGs and like mechanical HPA were the 2 real winners overall.
Absolutely. Those were the 2 strongest.
I saw, yeah.
Zune is Eric Lee. Eric Lee was claw hammering his gun. Apparently.
Well, it happens at every game.
This makes all the more sense.
It makes so much sense. There it is. Oh god.
Oh god. Dave King's comment in the live
That's
chat.
messed up.
Oh, that's brutal. Oh, that's terrible. That's awful. I shouldn't laugh. But yeah, I mean, overall though, in terms of player preparation and how everybody did, like really players blew me away. And one of the things that I think impressed me the most was how good of a mood everybody was in.
Oh yeah.
It's well past expectations.
Oh yeah.
I know me and another commander, I won't name names, had some bets on how many we're going to be leaving before certain time frames, and we got every single time.
Yeah.
I'll also say, I mean, of total people that just didn't show, it was only, 10, 11 guys?
So of the total no-shows, we had like 10.
Yeah.
But 5 of those no-shows were for like COVID reasons, coworker died and they had to go to work, or got a job assignment in another state last minute.
Which I will give credit. That one was not a grandmother issue. We know him. That one didn't lie.
Yeah.
His grandma didn't die, I swear.
4 of those people I know aren't lying. So we only had like 5 or 6 no-shows due to the weather. So I'm really impressed by that.
That's awesome. Oh, and anyone that went, if you want to feel good about yourself, we went back the next morning to go just do a quick sweep of any extra trash or look for an objective that got yeeted into the woods somehow. And when we did, it's like, 40 degrees that morning?
Yeah.
And there were
48. I was with
these guys there for open play. Like, we get out in fucking T-shirts, and these guys have, like, winter jackets. And we're like, you weren't here yesterday. You don't understand. This is balmy. We're so comfortable. It was great.
And you know what? Also, the players did a great job. We did not have trash issues at all.
No.
Well, I know Garrett stayed behind to clean up like one Gojirian position, but that's kind of his job, is make sure things are clean before they move.
He piled it into a bag. I found the bag an hour later. There were no issues. It was good.
Yeah, and I know Dave was very pleased with how we treated the facility overall. So that was good, because I have a lot of respect for Dave. I really like Dave. So the fact that he was pleased means a lot. So thank you guys. And everyone was really great at, keeping the mags out of guns, following safety procedures. I don't think I had to yell at anyone about iPro.
I didn't hear any yelling.
No.
I only heard one reminder from Dave about a mag out for one guy, but I'm pretty sure that guy's hands weren't working anymore, so it was totally reasonable.
Yeah. So, in terms of like the players, you all killed it.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to keep this whole thing at or just under an hour. Do we give the oath of the reasonable airsofter? Ian, I hate to admit it, this time we missed it because it was so cold. We were trying to get the briefing done as fast as possible.
That was a fast brief.
For once this time, the oath of the reasonable airsofter didn't seem to be necessary, luckily. But we will be including that in all future games because it is just so wonderful. So we are going to try to keep this just under an hour, and when we do our last giveaway, will be right now. So we have a choice for you guys. We can either raffle off 2 golden tickets to future Gun Gamers Productions games as a pair, or 1 ticket to 2 winners. So 1 person wins 2 tickets, or 2 people win 1 ticket. What's it going to be? And these will be golden tickets redeemable to any Gun Gamers Productions game. You will be able to use them at your leisure. It'll be a 100% discount code so that you can get a free ticket to whatever Gun Gamers Productions game that you can make from now until when you no longer wish to play Airsoft. Well, one ticket, but it's good for that long, so you can use it whenever.
It's like even longer. Even if you don't want to play, you can still redeem it.
Yeah. So we've got 1 vote for 1 ticket each. We have another vote for as a pair. We have another vote for as a pair.
It's 2 and 2. It's 2 and 2 right now.
It's 2 and 2. So we've got
Give us some more feedback, guys.
Yeah, well, we need tiebreakers. I'm going to give this until 7:50. I'm going to give it until 7:50. So we have just under 2 more minutes to decide if we're going to use this, if we're going to do this giveaway as a pair or as 1 each. So we have another one for 1 each, another one for separate, another one for pair. Okay, so right now, 1 each is winning by 1 vote. So,
pair.
Yeah. Well, actually,
1, 2.
yeah, we got a few more. So we got just under 2 minutes. In the meantime, I'm also can't vote on this since traveling from EU to America will not happen for only Airsoft. That's fair. That's fair enough.
Doomday Clown, listen, just come to America
Improve,
for our
actually
whiskey
following
also.
instead of struggling to read chat. Hey, Cherico, how about you improve your face? Do we also see on Facebook, are there any votes? Is someone watching the Facebook chat?
Oh my
'Cause I
god!
think we're
I'm
also
not.
streaming on Facebook right now.
Oh, that's
Why
fine.
doesn't Ian tell me
We've just been
anything?
ignoring everyone's questions all night.
Yeah. Oh god, that's terrible. Hold on, I'm gonna go to the Facebook page.
I mean, to be fair,
Anyone
this
on
is-
Facebook, it's Ian's fault. I just want you to know that.
Oh,
Yes,
Ian's
it's definitely
fault, I
Ian's fault.
Yeah,
This
it
is
is.
all Ian's fault. He's the worst. We've got just under 1 more minute. All right, I am watching. Oh, we only have like 3 comments.
Oh, okay,
Perfect.
perfect. Did we get any questions?
We do not have any significant questions. Okay,
Yep.
perfect. But we have one person say sample size of 1, but as an LMG for both events, I felt the ammo situation at Attrition was much improved. Hell yeah, thank you. Glad that our efforts went noticed. All right, we still have another vote over for Sep. Ooh, hold on. Let me count the polls here. So we've got 1 vote for as a pair.
Eric, it's
Another
6 to
vote
3
for-
separate right now.
6 to 3 separate.
There were at least
okay.
4 for pair, but that's fine. Still, that's individuals winning. Yeah.
All right, so separate is winning. All right, well then I'm gonna do.
Did you not say individuals winning?
It did. Yeah, individuals winning. I just said that.
Oh, I think you said something else.
No. All right. So we are going to have the giveaway now for the first of the golden tickets for Gun Gamers Productions that you can use at any point. You can even transfer them and give them away if you want, if you're really nice like that.
So you can still bring a friend.
Yeah. All right. So the first winner of the golden ticket is Ryan Melisini. Ryan Melisini, you have won a golden ticket to Gun Gamers Productions. You can use that at any point you want, and that will allow you to go for free or even give that ticket to somebody else so they can go for free, depending on how nice you are. All right, so for the second golden ticket, same rules and everything. We've got that spinning, which you can't see at all, but I promise it's happening. We have a Oscar Alvarez. So Oscar Alvarez, you have won a golden ticket to Gun Gamers Productions. You can use that at any point. We will be emailing you a code. You can use it, you can give it away, or you can print it on a piece of paper and burn it like a patch if you want. I can't tell you what to do with your winnings. They are legally not mine anymore.
We just that was another one of Cherico's squad members. It's
Oh,
amazing.
nice.
Did he rig this thing? I don't know.
All right. And I have one more gag giveaway.
No, this is
Let's-
genuine. This is real.
Well,
It's
we have
good.
one more giveaway, but this was just for fun. So, as we mentioned, there's a snapped in half classic army here. And just for the people watching live, if you want a snapped in half classic army with the accoutrements you see, just go ahead and comment. And I'm gonna say
I got 3 people already. There's already.
all right.
How are you gonna figure this out?
I don't know. We're gonna have to figure it out somehow.
Well, it ain't going to Leary, so he could just, you know.
No, it's not going to Leary. Through him. I'm also watching the Facebook now, and I don't see anybody commenting on there.
No, okay, so
All right. So we have a few different enters. So I'm gonna make
make
a
a wheel.
new random wheel.
Nice.
We're gonna do this the only fair way I know.
Will you send one to Sweden, Eric?
If he wins, then yes.
I will probably not send it to Sweden. No offense.
Ian says don't give it to Broadwing because he has more subs than us.
That's all the more reason we should give it to Broadwing as like a gross networking maneuver.
just tell the horrible story about how you got a busted ass gun in the mail.
All right. This is taking a long time to backspace. So I'm just gonna
Reload the page.
It's almost done.
Yeah, we're almost there.
It's almost done. Sorry. I probably should have just refreshed the page, but I'm a little stupid. All right. So who in the chat said they wanted it, Matt? Give me the names.
All right, you got Samson Falcon.
All right.
You got Broadwing.
Broadwing.
It's up to you if you want to
Matt-
include him because I know he's like pseudo staff, pseudo not. Camera Ninja.
I'll include him. I'll include him. Just for the fun of it, you know, just to make it a little more like Russian roulette if we've got 6 names.
And then I have one from Sweden.
And we have
one
Garrett
from Canada.
entering the chat as well.
Garrett? Oh, God.
Way too late. Get out. Get out. Where? 1 minute left in the.
What's the other name? What's the other name, Matt?
There's one from Canada and one from Sweden. Do you want to add those?
Oh, God. I mean,
That's
I probably
your
can't get this thing to Canada or Sweden, sadly.
Okay, so then that's it. That's the 3 you got.
That's it? That's the 3 we've got?
Yep.
Oh, crap. All right. We are going to just do the 3. Camera Ninja, Samson, or Broadwing. Who's getting the broken
What you should have done is those, and then just one random member from Jericho's squad.
Oh, well, I guess it's going to be easy to give away because I guess Camera Ninja gets it.
Dang!
So there you go, Camera Ninja. You get the snapped in half cold casualty of our rental gun for whatever purposes you wanted.
It's a completely functional rifle once you add a, receiver and another gearbox.
It'll be fine.
Not expensive at all.
No,
It's fine.
Yeah. All right. So that, I think, covers most of what we really had to talk about from Attrition, unless Garrett wanted to share a couple highlights because he showed up late.
Who's got questions for just Garrett?
Yeah, does anybody have questions for just me? Because I'm somehow special.
Let's hit him with highlights.
Yeah,
what's
your highlight
from the thing? Introduce your
artillerying TF Raptor into submission.
No, we already
For
did
one
that one.
thing.
Here's a different one.
Oh, you did?
It was a different perspective, but yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
Honestly, when I had 2 platoons defending HLZ2 and HLZ3, both of them were super well communicating with me what their current situation was, and I was able to get intelligence from the drone at the same time in order to help them coordinate counter assaults or at least defensive assaults. So that was a huge highlight for me, being able to micromanage that. As probably a lot of people know, this was my first time being like a faction commander. And while we didn't necessarily have like a ton of people, it definitely was a different way to experience airsoft as a whole. Jim was a very worthy opponent, for sure. But the fact that the Kingdom of Gojiria entrusted me with the ability to destroy the Nath Forward Logistics Center is an honor that I will carry with me throughout the rest of my days.
He attacked us right in the flick.
I will actually say, if we want to do like the LARPy wrap up, because people always ask who won, right? So
Yeah.
here's the deal of who won Attrition. Nobody.
Nobody.
Like if you look at what played out in the game, the Almeric Republic was trying to secure the Nath Forward Logistics Center and, make sure that they could use that as a launch off point and a logistical support for the front for the war with Gojiria. Technically, they kind of did that.
You want me to give my perspective?
Sure.
From the Almeric Republic, we accomplished everything we meant to do. So by the end, we held the whole place. The cost was too great. That is my opinion on how my faction went.
Well, I was going to say, from my perspective, the Kingdom of Gojiria basically Alt F forward the Nath Logistics Center from existence, and we succeeded in not necessarily allowing us to open up a new front in the northern Nath region. However, we pretty much removed it from being used by either side.
Yeah, I would say that's basically the way it went. Half of it was artillery rubble, and the other half of it had been picked clean just to try to fight over it.
Yes, lots of ammo use. Multiple drones were completely used. using Almeric's artillery asset against them definitely
Well, you used
caused
the
some major
power
damage.
center to boost your signal so that you could get that artillery. That was awesome.
Yeah, but we could not. My task force could not secure helicopter evac out of the AO. So while we did end up losing the task force in the process, TF Raptor was also mostly lost in the process as well. So we consider it a victory in that respect as well.
Reasonable losses. That's what it sounds like to me.
Propaganda victory.
We overcame a superior numerical force, so I consider that a win as well.
You know what? That's what everyone wants, the moral victory. That's good. That's good.
All right. So with that, I think we can call attrition pretty much wrapped up at this point.
Absolutely.
What should people be
forward to now?
Yeah.
there you go.
So here's our next events for all you guys. We have 2 more Pyrrhic victory. Both platoons completely attritted. Perfect.
It was very, very much a Pyrrhic victory.
Yes. But the next events we have looking forward to are Incursion on June 3rd, 2023 at Action Sports, Wisconsin. I'm very excited for this place because it's bigger than Zulu by a good margin.
It is.
And it has a lot of dense, highly developed, semi-urban terrain. Oh, would you look
so
at that?
pretty. So
It's
pretty. Look at that.
It's
Wow.
our website, gungamersproductions.com. If you go to our website, you can find our rule sets, our upcoming events, and links to all of our social media. I spent a lot of time on this website. Please look at it, guys.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, so we have Incursion coming up on June 3rd, 2023 at Action Sports, Wisconsin. I'm very excited to host there.
Yeah.
I'm going to be there to play a couple of times before as well.
Yeah, we're both going to be out there, so.
Yeah, so keep your eyes peeled for our social media for when we're going to be out there to play, because I want to play with you guys too. Just because I run games now doesn't mean I want to stop playing them. And then our other game that we're running this year that we have scheduled is July 29th, 2023. We have Ascension.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, Ascension is the one I'm most hyped for.
Oh, yeah.
I'm hyped for both, but damn.
Why are you guys excited for Ascension? I hope you're all excited too.
You're the one who said you were excited first.
I just want to watch everyone die on hills.
Well, this area is no one's ever played this for airsoft before.
So it's a brand new AO.
So
Yes.
brand new AO, and it's 1,100 acres.
Yep.
And we have a lot of freedom to do a lot of cool things.
So, Kyle, are you saying it's like a little bigger than Zulu?
A little bit, just a little bit.
So in order to navigate these 1,100 acres, we're going to have
10 Zulus.
available to get around with.
Yes, we are going to have vehicles in play at Ascension. And as we mentioned earlier, we'll be publishing our full rule set for vehicles as part of the 2023 Gun Gamers rule set update. So keep an eye out. We will have that blasted on all the social medias as we have the new rule set available. Ascension is going to be super, super dope. Because we have 1,100 acres, as Kyle said, to play with at Ben Franklin Range in Templeton, Pennsylvania, just outside of Pittsburgh. And it is hilly. It's got roads. It's got a private shoot house. It's got a couple of private ranges. And we're going to try to make use of a wide variety of terrain to have hopefully company-sized movements that operate for the entire 12 hours.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be sick.
Yeah.
And with that, did you guys want to go over anything else before we called it a night for this?
I mean, I'd say let's open up, see if the players have any questions about any of our upcoming events or in general.
Yeah, let's do. We'll take questions in the chat while we're waiting to wrap up, because we'll give this another 5 minutes or so. And thank you again while we're waiting for your questions for coming to Attrition. If you came to Attrition, thank you for coming to Overture. If you went to Overture. And thank you for your support if you decide to buy a ticket to Incursion or Ascension. Kyle can vouch, and Jim, Garrett, and Lutz as well. I mean, this has been a longtime dream of the Gun Gamers crew to do this event promotion thing.
Oh yeah, we've been dreaming it for years, and we're so excited. And it's all because you guys come out and enjoy our games that we get to continue to do it. So,
all right, I got 2 questions. There's Ian. He needs to know what everyone is separately drinking.
Angel's Envy in this room.
Yep.
I had Gentleman Jack, and Garrett has, I don't know, water. He had a long day.
I had, yeah. I went through 30 tubes of grease on one tank.
Okay, damn.
All right.
Cameron Ninja wants to know, how will vehicles be used at Ascension?
Good.
All right. And Ho Xing Yung, who I hope I pronounced that correctly, he's waiting for our Japan trip and the whiskey tours. I know I need to get out to Japan. I'm already traveling so much this year, so I don't know if I'll be able to do that this year. But Japan is absolutely.
I would love to get to Japan. Absolutely.
We need to go to Japan. It's going to be awesome.
I will quickly answer a question that has been asked for me. Why didn't I come up with a fun slur for the Republic like Jim did for the Gojis? And that is because I treat my enemies with respect and don't have to dehumanize them in order to claim victory.
I don't know. I think you saw a lot of furious uproar over there when people said, "Hey, we got Gojis coming in."
Those Goji bastards. And how will vehicles be used at Ascension is a really good question. So the way that we are going to use vehicles at Ascension is primarily, I would say, as logistics and emplacement for combat. But there will also be rule sets for having armored vehicles and vehicles that can shoot on the move. We just need to make sure that we're using vehicles safely. Because like the number one cause for insurance claims in airsoft, believe it or not, it's not injuries related to airsoft. It's injuries related to vehicles.
Yeah, so we have to be mindful of that. But basically, we're going to have separate classes between armored and unarmored. And they're really, all the vehicles are going to fold directly into the command chain. We're not going to be having any kind of Wild West, just, oh yeah, you passed, go do your thing. No, that's not how it's going to work.
Yeah.
So that being said, we do have a lot of members within Gun Gamers Productions who have experience with combat escort teams or gun trucks overseas. So a lot of those tactics that we've seen, no one's seen, but a lot of those tactics that are used by the military will be used at Gun Gamers Productions.
Yes.
Yeah, we also have people, who have training in, combat driving and stuff like that with, cops and stuff. We have those guys who are going to be vehicle staff. We are going to require every vehicle have a staff member in it just because that helps enforce compliance with the rules with those vehicles, and vehicles are too dangerous not to do that with.
Also, being real, it also ensures that you will have a constant, good connection with command, with, comms. We don't have to worry about, someone brought their UV5R and it shit the bed. That staff will have good comms across BFR. It doesn't matter. It just eliminates a lot of the random shit that happens with vehicles, especially
what would help? It's going to help balance vehicles, because vehicles tend to have a huge problem in airsoft where they tend to be way overpowered or useless, and we want to change that, like all of our other classes, and give them a specific purpose and make them useful and rewarding, but not punishing in the wrong way.
Yeah.
And no, Pete, there will be no Pope Mobile. That was discussed.
Yeah, there will be no Pope Mobile.
Yeah, there will also be no Penske trucks tossing people.
Helicopter.
Helicopters.
And then we've got one more question that I'm just going to go ahead and make the last one. This is from Ho Xing Yung again, which, again, I really hope I pronounced that correctly. He's asking, any trouble for the drones? How much batteries you prepared for a long day game? So we actually, for Attrition, we only had one battery that the drone kept cycling through. But because the drone was admin control, I just put the battery on the charger between people calling it in.
But that's it. For the drone class, you're going to want to bring a couple of batteries.
I would say at least 3 or 4 batteries for the drone class if you want to make it through all the daylight, being able to use your drone a decent amount. Yeah. And even then, depends on your drone. Some need more, some need less.
That'd be cool if somebody brought along with nighttime imagery, though.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you bring a drone with nighttime imagery, you are whoo. You're using your whole.
Or a FLIR.
But
Just
yeah,
a police helicopter.
I think that is a good spot to wrap it up. Unless anyone has anything else they want to add last minute.
I think I got all my points out.
Yeah, I think it was pretty good.
All right. Well, thank you again to everyone watching for watching the Attrition AAR live stream. Thank you for coming to Attrition if you did, and thank you for your support as Gun Gamers continues to do this thing. Are fixed wing UAVs going to be allowed or just quadcopters? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know enough people who own fixed wing UAVs. If there's demand to allow that and they can be done as safely as quadcopters, that'll be included in the rule set. I'm going to have to do some more research before we publish.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not against it. I just got to have a good understanding of it before we allow it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thank you again for watching. I've been Eric.
I'm Jim.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Lutz.
I'm Garrett.
And we will catch you guys on the next live stream at the next game or just on the field. Thank you again. Peace.